Hey you guys, how y'all doing? I'm just sitting here having a glass of wine and watching the Walking Dead marathon, getting ready for tomorrow night's season premiere episode. I'm so excited. But I was noticing a couple of times today through Facebook and on YouTube and different outlets that there's a lot of talk about Obama cutting this huge chunk of the food stamp program. And anything he does, I immediately slam it. um, I just don't like the fellow that much. But the point that I want to make is one thing that I'm a little confused about with my own internal feelings and with what I see out there is that one minute we're all screaming and yelling that we can't continue to afford to support the people that um, don't want to work and the taxpayers, those of us that get up and go to work and pay our taxes, uh, get tired of big government spending, spending on needless and pointless programs, and then making the socialistic side of our programs so accessible to the masses that we're running ourselves into the ground. Then, somebody, even as much as it kills me to say it, somebody like Obama, does something that would reduce spending on socialism type programs, welfare, whatever. And now everybody's all in an uproar about that. Oh my gosh, he cut the food stamp program. He's so terrible, and I just had this moment where I was like, damned if he does and damned if he doesn't. He's so far gone out of the eyes of respect for so many of us that even if he does something that we've been screaming needs to be done, um, we're still not satisfied. So, and I know there's a lot of repercussions on both sides. I know that there's a lot more to it. I'm not getting into a lot of depth about the outcomes of either direction, but I, for one, have never been a recipient of the programs that are made available by our government to those who need assistance. I'm rambling, I know it's late, but I'm a little confused with myself on my feelings about this today, about this information about Obama making this huge cut to the food stamp program. Because on the one hand, I know there are people out there that need it, that groceries are so expensive, and not everybody has the skill set or even the resources in the area that they live in to have a garden like I do and canned food, or to hunt and put some meat away for the winter. Not everybody can do those things. And there are some people that are caught in the trap right now of our economy where they have lost their jobs and they do want to work, but it's been a year. My son's a very good example. Um, he's a hardworking kid. He's not going to be a rocket scientist ever. He's more of like construction and painting, like painting like people's homes and offices, not artist painting. Um, and he's been looking for a job for seems like forever. His unemployment ran out a long time ago, and he's applied. And I've recommended him to jobs where I had connections, and I thought, oh, I can get him a job here. But for every one person applying, there's 25 people right there applying that day, and then more coming in the next day. And the employers are able to pick and choose. It's an employer's market right now. So, he's not gone to take food stamps or welfare, and he won't. Unemployment was about the limit of what he would take. So, I know that there are the situations, now if he had a small child and things were as they were right now, no. Oodles and noodles would not be sufficient food to nourish a growing child. So, on the one hand, I'm torn because our economy and our setup right now is not, it's just not good. Okay? I don't give a shit who you are, what you want to say. Now, there's people making money. There are people making money. And some of the people that are making money are making more money than they ever did. But the group of people not making money has grown. And I heard somebody addressing that the other day that, the middle class is shrinking and the lower income class, I hate calling it lower class, um, is growing. So, I work, Mike works, and it's just the two of us here. And I thank God every day for being a prepper and us putting food away the way that we do, for the resources that we have. Some of my meals are a little funky, um, as far as being unconventional. We're not cooking steaks and stuff. We have, canned, cubed roast beef that I may heat up and make some gravy and mashed potatoes to go with. It's not meals that a lot of families think about or would be accustomed to. Um, so my point I guess I'm making is just, how do you find um, that middle ground with this? How do you say, for a minute, I have to put my feelings about the administration aside and look at the actual occurrence and situation. And if it were me, I'd like to see the majority of the percentage of welfare-based socialistic hand-me-out programs disintegrated. We can't afford them. But that's also under the theory of an economy like we had, back in the 80s, where as a teenager, I was making as much money as what some people are today. I was working on an hourly basis and making money that a lot of people are supporting families on right now. If that pay scale, and I'm not talking about raising the minimum wage, I'm talking about literally the cost of inflation going along with the cost of pay. Um, if it was matched up and people were willing to get off their butts and go to work because the programs weren't too easily accessible and the jobs were there, then cut them suckers. But the way that we've been set up in the world that we're in right now, there are people that would work, that don't like being on government assistance, but they are on it because they have to have it to feed their children. Um, those people I'm worried about. And I'm worried about what the food industry's reaction will be when there's a decrease in sales. Will the burden yet again be placed on us, the consumer, and an inflation happen in the supermarket? As our national debt continues to grow, inflation grows. And the job that I do, my family's been in this industry for a few decades. My father did it, my brother did it, I've done it off and on through the years. And it's a fun industry. It's a travel industry. And so it's all happy-go-lucky. I've had customers that are identical to the customers that they were 10, 15 years ago, except for one thing. even the ones that could pay for my most expensive program in one day, stroke a check, are hesitant to let go of their money. I've had several customers that I've spoken to that are small business owners, and they've told me, and this has been just in the last few weeks, well, we have to start uh, this insurance now, otherwise we get taxed and fined. And the money's there right now, but it probably won't be a year from now because now I have this extra expense and my food bill has gone up to this and that. I mean, I think that a lot of us preppers have prepared for this time period that we're actually entering, and I just wanted to address that. It was just kind of a little awakening moment, so to say, with the processing of that bit of news. So, anyway, just some thoughts.